Okay, so this is me jumping. Like, watch. Here's a diagram. Here's a diagram. There, that's what I did. I jumped. I don't know if you can see me, but I'm jumping right now. I'm jumping to show you that, like, I'm trying to jump and give you an example of this is what the frames of time look like. They look like 2D. Here's a 2D frame. I'll use a 2D film strip, for example. Life is kind of like a film strip, and we live every day. Well, that's not a proper diagram. They're actually square. Hey, that's 90 degrees. Anyway, this is what the frames of time look like. And then this one looks like me jumping off the ground. And then this one looks like me back on the ground. So that's actually what I just did in the fifth dimension. Is it the fifth dimension that I used? I believe... Oh, it's actually the fourth dimension. Pardon me. This is the fourth dimensional axis, because these 2D frames, this right here represents a 3D frame of experience. I call them frames of time, but they're actually not frames of time because time is an illusion. So we're not going to be using terms like space-time much longer in the realm of physics because... realm makes me think of Earth realm. Because time is an illusion, so I'm not going to use the word space-time. So, like, Einstein calls this right here, he calls this space-time. He calls this space-time. I'll show you exactly what he calls space-time. It's improper. It's improper terminology. It's spelling. It's improper spelling, if you will. Here's the fourth dimension. Here's the fourth dimensional axis. Right there. That's how you make a tesseract. That's how you make a fourth dimensional hypercube. Listen up, kiddos. I'm teaching you how to build a flux capacitor. Alright, seriously though, listen up. This is, right here, this is a wavelength. This is actually, an axis. This is the 4D axis. This is all just coming to me right now. This is all just coming to me. This is years of studying, too. Oh, I gotta fucking stir my mac and cheese. Hold on. Sorry. I'm making mac and cheese while I get downloads on physics. So this is the fourth dimensional axis that goes from one frame of time to the next. I call them frames of time because that's what people usually call them. They call them frames of time. Because this is the fourth dimension right here. This axis right here is the fourth dimension. This axis right here is the fourth dimension, as this is a diagram that gives you a view of the third dimension. These are third dimensional frames of times, and these are just units of, these are just individual frames of time. I wonder what kind of units they are. We usually use the Planck scale as the smallest scale in physics to measure things on, I believe. Don't quote me, I'm still learning. This is also what I've learned from the Galactic Federation of Light. This is what I've learned from my physics teachers from the past. Physics teachers on Earth suck. They suck. Sorry, Mr. Alway, but you suck. You told me that there were no aliens. You didn't know you were talking to one. That's a shout out at my old professor. I'm sorry, I'm just fucking around. I came at him with a conspiracy theory about Maldek, and he just ate me to pieces. And he's just like, nope, 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 this is not true, this is not true. And you know what, that's what people, just never mind. People always want to say that you're crazy or say that something's not true. Every great new idea, what I'm trying to say, is opposed with great opposition at first. Just like the guy who said, oh no, here's Earth, and here's the sun. The sun goes around the Earth. And they probably said, oh, he's crazy, hold on, pardon me. The first guy who said that the Earth revolves around the sun, that's what I meant to say. The first guy who said that, they all thought he was crazy, and then they're like, oh, this nigga's actually right. And I'm like, yeah, no shit. And pardon my language if the word nigga offends you, but it's 2021, and my intention was just like nigga as in friend, like, hey nigga, what's up nigga, like, it's like Eminem says, it's the shit that you joke about with your friends in the living room. You know what, whatever, fuck it, I'm a person. You think I give a fuck? I'm doing goddamn law of attraction physics. You think I give a fuck? I'm just doing a law of attraction vlog, but this is what I was doing. But humans are so touchy, and plus with the energy that I've been going through lately, the energy waves I've been going through lately, I don't want to trigger anyone. So this is a 3D box, and this is what it looks like. That's what it looks like in space-time for when, I don't like to use the word space-time, sorry, space experience, space, or whatever, I'll call it space-time. This is what space-time looks like. Each frame of reality is actually frozen. So when I jumped, you were looking at a series of 2D images in your head, were you not? Right now, when you look at me, what do you see? When you look at me, you see a flat 2D image in your mind, don't you? You see a flat 2D image right now, because with our 2D eye or our 3D eyes, our human eyes, these two eyes, they use you see a flat image. I'm stirring my mac and cheese. You see a flat image. Oh, it's fucking hot. Hold on, I need to turn this down. Turn it down a frequency. So a 2D image is what we usually get from our third dimensional eyes, and our third dimensional or our fourth dimensional eye, or our fifth dimensional, our third eye is what I'm trying to call it. Our third eye. Well, I'm not going to talk about the third eye right now. Let me stay on the realm of physics. Pardon me. I've actually never been a physics teacher before in this lifetime yet, so I've never given a physics lecture before. This is just a random thing that came to me. I just wanted to tell you that the frames of time are set up like this. And when I gave the example of me jumping, when you watch me jump, you're watching a series of events take place on a higher dimension. And that's why people say, oh, that's time. This takes time to happen, does it not? It doesn't take time. You're just experiencing these 3 frames of time separately. Now, that's a very advanced topic, and you could experience all these at once. I've actually acted as many people before. I used to act as 7 people as once in a higher dimension, and wow, that sounds like schizophrenia or something. It sounds crazy, but it's really just higher dimensional we are one stuff. And once you realize that we are one, you can become one with other versions of people, just like, oh, I told you that you could experience all 3 frames of time at once, to prove to you that time is not the 4th dimension. Because if you say time is the 4th dimension, you'll think, oh, well, she jumped up and down. That means that this plus this plus this equals time. No, this jumping up and jumping down, this plus this does not equal time. Time's not real. Time is an illusion, kiddos. Kiddos, it's not fucking real. So space, time is not the 4th dimension. That's a lie to keep you in the 3rd dimension. It's a lie to keep you here, 3rd dimensional. Because you are a multi-dimensional, infinite spiritual being having a temporary human experience. Please go check out Aaron Doughty and Carl Sagan. Aaron Doughty is my favorite philosopher, law of attraction teacher, and Carl Sagan is one of my favorite physicists. Carl Sagan gives a great example on the 4th dimension on YouTube. His is a little bit more, I don't want to say professional, because mine is professional. I mean, I work on this every day. I work on this kind of stuff. But anyway, and learning can come from anywhere. If you have the right energy, you're going to vibrate with this video. I'm telling you, you're going to fucking vibrate with this video. So you can experience all 3 of these at the same time, the same way. I'll just give you experience, or an example, pardon me, of how I actually lived as 3 people at once. I lived as 3 people at once, one time, in the higher dimensional realms by kind of like a cup of water. I'll give you an example. I'll give this cup of water. I had my awareness in higher dimensions, so I could parallel versions of myself. First of all, I'll do this experiment in a minute, but these are parallel versions of myself, are they not? But they are still me. So all I did, I was activating multiple versions of these at the same time, and I was acting as this person, and this person at the same time. And that's how I know that time is not real as well. It's because I was in the future and the past. There's a joke for you. I was in the future and the past at the same time. Because it's kind of like a radio station. That's what these things are. These things are radio stations. Oh, I was having an astral battle. That's why I was in the higher realms, acting as many versions of my parallel realities. And parallel realities are just parallel timelines. They shouldn't be called timelines either. Let's delete that. Nope, they're not called timelines. They're called, well, it depends on what you're talking about. Are you talking about the 4th dimension or the 5th dimension? This is what we used to call time, and these are what we used to call timelines. But really, The fourth dimension is not time, so the fifth dimension cannot be timelines. So if we want to look at this, 4D is just a dimension. Fourth dimension. 4D is just a dimension. It's an axis. I'm going to call it A. I don't call it W as the standard model of physics does. Not the standard model of particle physics, but not that standard model of physics. Still making mac and cheese. Anyway, I just want you to know that everything exists right now. And most people in the spiritual community already know that time is illusion. We already know that the law of attraction works like a radio station, but we don't know that yet. We don't realize the physics behind it. Nikola Tesla said to think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration, and I did. And I mixed it with the law of attraction. And some people don't like me because of that. But I'm just going to use the law of attraction to fix it, so if you ever have any problems with a bunch of people just calling you worthless and stupid and crazy because you talk about things that they don't understand because they're new age, new ideas had to come from somebody at some point in time. And here's an idea for you. Time's not one of them. Time's not real. It's just not fucking real. But anyway, someone's got to be first, right? Someone's got to say stuff, right? Someone's got to do stuff. And anyway, there's your physics lesson for today. I guess we didn't get to do the water experiment. Here, I'll do it. I'll dip my 3 fingers in the water. Me dipping 3 fingers in the water is an example of a visual example of how my soul, my awareness was acting in 3 bodies at once, at one time. Kind of like, oh, that actually works out really good. Because look, I'm going like this with my hands. It's 3 prongs. Look right here. Look, 1, 2, 3. Each line is 3. Maybe it's an axis thing from a higher dimension. Anyway, well, now my paper's all wet. These 3 lines are supposed to be like my soul activating my parallel timelines. I was just acting as my parallel timelines. Right now, I'm acting as a lot of 2-dimensional frames that make up my 3rd-dimensional body right now. And before, I was acting as a lot of 5th-dimensional frames that made up my 6th-dimensional body. Anyway, I'll do the math on that later. Seriously. But this video is fucking gold right here. I'm just gonna let you know. What should I do? What should I title this video? Visual representation of dimensions. Physics of 4th dimension. Galactic Federation of Light? No. This is like something, how we shift through dimensions. Yes, we shift. Well, first of all, we shift with our heart. Our heart is the dial, the cosmic dial, that really changes our frequency more than anything, because the basis of all energy is love. So you can really tell what frequency, what time frame you're in. I'll call them time experience frame. I'm making up new terms myself, so I'm trying not to confuse you. Whatever. Think of a film strip, a cosmic film strip. Think of a film strip. That's what the frames of time look like, the frames of experience. They look like a giant film strip, and that light is projecting through. And I've seen them. I've seen them thousands of times. I've seen the frames of time thousands of times. We'll call them frames of time. I keep calling them I keep telling you that time's not real and calling them frames of time, but we'll just call them frames of time. But yeah, that's how the frames of time work. And people think that time is the 4th dimension. Time is not the 4th dimension. Maybe that should just be the video title, proof the 4th dimension is not time. Maybe that should be the video title. Because if we think time is something that it's not, proof, like, I don't know, whatever. I think those who are awakened, in awakening, all you have to do is awaken your DNA. Awakening starts with your fucking DNA, dude. Let me tell you. Trust the scientist. Trust the person that studies Nikola Tesla to the very T. Trust me, to the very T. Analyze his quotes, will you? Mix them with the law of attraction, will you? Trust me. It's classified information right now, but time's an illusion. So what is the now?